Hey, what's up, Bishop Mosquito Spray? You're tuned in to Mosquito Spray's Boxing Breakdown. Today we're gonna talk about what might be a popular subject, but maybe viewed as an unpopular opinion. We're gonna talk today about one Jaron Ennis. Most people see him as a prodigy, a phenom, or the next big thing in the sport of boxing. But I'm gonna take you on a little walk, and we're gonna ask some questions about Mr. Jaron Ennis today. And we're gonna see how he stacks up against another guy people said the same things about some years back. Now, let's take a look at Jaron Ennis' career thus far. So up to this point, he's only operated in one weight class. That's welterweight, 147 pounds. And at welterweight, he's compiled a record of 34 wins, no losses, no draws, 30 knockouts. I'm not gonna lie, he has looked spectacular. Explosive offensively. And at times he does do things that look like he could be a special fighter and whatnot. But there are some things that I've been seeing that give me a little pause when it comes to declaring this man as the next big thing or phenom or next big superstar in boxing. Now, he does have to push behind it with Eddie Hearn and the platform, his own and all that there in order to achieve these things. But when he is put in these positions in these real fights, what are we going to see from Jaron Ennis? So, as opposed to just speaking on the surface, I chose to dig a little deeper into his career. So, at welterweight, in his 34 fights, his opponents have had a combined record of 547 wins, 268 losses, 35 draws. That's a winning percentage of 64.35%. Another thing about his career is he has not fought a lot of punchers. In fact, the first puncher he fought, true puncher he fought, was in fight number 31, and that was Roman Villa. Roman Villa came in 26 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 24 knockouts, and Ennis did stop him in the 10th round. Anyone that watches that fight or that has seen that fight knows that Villa was a guy that came straight forward, front door every time, telegraphed a lot of his shots, and he was, basically tailor-made for Ennis. So it was kind of him being what he's supposed to be, you could call it a showcase fight somewhat. He did what he's supposed to do, credit to him. But the thing that gives me pause with Ennis is, like I said, at times he looks brilliant offensively. The punch variation, the ability to work off the stick if he chooses to get on the inside and bang away. It all looks good, but the problem I have is he does get clipped. And it ain't the fact that he's getting clipped, it's what he's getting clipped with. The guy, and like I said, he's fought one puncher, that's Villa. The other guys he's been fighting, they can't crack hard enough to have an effect on him. He enjoys a size advantage. And some of these guys just aren't punching like that. So he's able to walk through these guys and do his thing and look spectacular doing it at times, kind of to make my point, I want you to walk with me. Let's rewind back about 12, 13 years ago. There was another young man. He was the next big thing, the young phenom, spectacular offensively, stopping guys. You know what I'm saying? Fresh, fly, flashy, all that. Flushing money down toilets. You know what I'm saying? And he was operating like this between 130 and 135. I'm talking about none other Cincinnati's own Adrian the Problem Broner. And let's look into Adrian Broner at 30 and 35. Between 130 and 135 pounds, Adrian Broner compiled a record of 26 wins, no losses, no draws, 22 knockouts. His opponents had a combined record of 366 wins, 84 losses, and 23 draws. That's a 77.38% winning percentage. The first real puncher he fought, which was my introduction to seeing him fight live, was Daniel Ponce de Leon, who he fought at 130 pounds. Ponce de Leon came in with a record of 41 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 34 wins by way of knockout. Broner won by unanimous decision. I remember that it was kind of debated. Some people thought he may have lost the fight, but he got the decision, nevertheless. And he moved on. Both fighters, operating Ennis at welterweight, Broner between 30 and 35. Both fighters faced one true champion. Now, anybody that has been following my channel, that has seen any of my videos, knows, to me, the definition, I don't do all that current and former stuff. A champion is a man walks down the aisle with a belt, he come in the ring, he defends and loses the title that night. So, the one champion, one true, because Broner at 30 fought for a vacant title. He won a title, vacant, it was a vacant title, he won it. But the one champion he took a belt off of, which was, to me, his apex moment of his career. It was November of 2012 when he stopped Antonio DeMarco in the 8th round to take the WBC title at 35. And of course, Jaron Ennis, the one champion he fought was his last fight, Monte Stanionis. He stopped him in the 6th round to take the WBA title. So let's keep moving forward with Mr. Broner. Once he got the title. Remember, I believe at the time they were still doing the 24/7, the old HBO show. He said, me and Big Bro, we got this stuff you can't teach. Talking about Floyd Mayweather. He said he could do what he wants, so he wanted to jump up 2 weight classes. He wanted to skip 40 and jump up to 47. Took on Paulie Malignaggi, and he got his belt, got the WBA title from him, and that put him in line, to fight some tough guys. One of those guys, which he took on in fight number 28 of his career, Marcos Maidana. Maidana came in, and let me mention, Maidana, we all know, was a puncher. Maidana came in 34-3-0 with 31 knockouts. And anybody that's been watching boxing for the past 10, 15 years knows what happened that night. So, Broner lost. That was his first loss. And then in fight number 36, he took on another puncher, Mikey Garcia. He fought him at 140. Mikey Garcia came in 36 wins, no loss, no draws, 30 knockouts. Broner felt the power. He didn't engage the rest of the night. He just survived pretty much. And then in fight number 38, he took on Manny Pacquiao. We all know Pacquiao's a puncher. And same thing, Broner tasted the power, shelled up, and survived the night. He said what he said after the fight, but we all know that was a hogwash. Broner got whooped that night. So, he went from 26-0, 22 knockouts between 30 and 35, 100% winning percentage. At 40 and 47, Adrian Broner had a record of 9 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, 2 knockouts. And his 2 knockouts were against that Khabib guy he fought for that vacant title at 40, and Ashley Theophane. I mean, I'm not going to call nobody no bum or nothing like that. I don't do that to fighters. But these weren't top-level guys. And his opponents had a combined record of 403 wins, 39 losses, 13 draws, 88.57% winning percentage. So once he moved up to 40 and 47, he did take on a higher level of opposition, and his record reflected that, man. So Broner was not the same fighter once he moved up. His power that he exhibited at 30 and 35 when he was just overpowering these guys, he didn't have that anymore. He didn't have that size advantage. And them shots he was getting clipped with at 30 and 35 by, Eloy Perez and Gavin Reese and Antonio DeMarco and all these guys. Once he started getting hit by these bigger guys, it was affecting him. So he just wasn't the same guy. He didn't look the part of a superstar anymore. Once he got up to the bigger weight classes. Now let's look at Jaron Ennis and what he's about to take on. Because some people saying you got detractor saying he, by moving up he's ducking the smoke with Brian Norman Jr. Who knows? But what I do know is there is a murderous row at 154 waiting on this man. Now, as far as punchers at 54, I'm gonna name them off. I'm gonna name them off with the records. First, we got Charles Conwell, 21 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 16 knockouts. Erickson Lubin, 27 wins, 2 losses, no draw, 19 knockouts. Tim Tszyu, 25 wins, 2 losses, no draw, 18 knockouts. Jesus Ramos, 23 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 19 knockouts. Sebastian Fundora, 22 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 14 knockouts. Bohachuk, 26 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 24 knockouts. Keith Thurman, 31 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 23 knockouts. Xander Zayas, 21 wins, no loss, no draw, 13 knockouts. Virgil Ortiz, 23 wins, no loss, no draw, 21 knockouts. And Bakram Murtazaliyev, whatever this cat name is, I'm sorry. But 23 wins, no loss, no draw, 17 knockouts. These are, rack them and stack them how you want, but all these guys can punch. The other thing, Jaron Ennis, 5'10", 74-inch reach. Like I said, he's enjoyed the size advantage over, the guys he's been in with at welterweight. And when he's getting in touch with these shots, because you have to look at the kind of shots he's getting in touch with, man. He's getting hit with some shots that I'm unsure about if he gets touched by a real puncher, how it's going to affect him. So the only guys on this list, you got Conwell, 5'9", with a 70-inch reach. You got Tszyu, 5'8", with a 70.5-inch reach. You got Thurman, 5'9", with a 70-inch reach. The rest of these guys, Erickson Lubin, 5'11", 74.5-inch reach. Jesus Ramos, 5'10", 72-inch reach. Fundora, 6'5", 80-inch reach. Bohachuk, 6 feet, 73-inch reach. Zayas, 5'10", 74-inch reach. Virgil Ortiz, 5'10", 70-inch reach. And Murtazaliyev, 5'11", 74-inch reach. Ennis is not going to be enjoying the same size advantage he had at 47. And again, man, these guys can punch, you know what I'm saying? If he wants to be a champion, you got Fundora with the WBO title. You got Murtazaliyev with the IBF title. I think Virgil Ortiz is an interim champion, but I don't count that as no champion. I don't do all that other stuff. You a full champion or you ain't a champion, as far as I'm concerned. But what direction is he gonna go, and how is he gonna look once he gets in here with these guys that he doesn't have the physical advantages over, and he's gonna have to depend on his skill and or his will. You know what I'm saying? In order to beat these guys. I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm not making the decision based on what I haven't seen yet, but I don't feel I'm out of line by questioning this, and I don't think anybody else that is either. And what I've seen so far with him, the way he gets hit, the way he's doing his guys at 47, it reminds me of what we saw from Adrian Broner at 30 and 35. Just think about all the praise that's being heaped on this young man, what he's being billed as, what he is, what he's going to be, and all this. Same thing was going on with Adrian Broner. He was the next Floyd Mayweather. He was this, he was that. You even had the younger generation that was saying he could whoop Floyd Mayweather, just like you got the younger generation now saying Ennis can whoop Crawford. And he can whoop this guy and whoop that guy. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I need to see it. And I think right now him and Brian Norman Jr. is a 50-50 fight. Just now, do I consider Ennis to be the more skilled and experienced guy out of them two? Yes, I do. But that equalizer that Brian Norman Jr. has, man, if he touch Ennis with them shots that these other guys touching him with, man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I need to see it. I want to see it. I'm looking forward to what we get from this young man. Maybe he will be brilliant and spectacular. Maybe he will tighten up his defense since he's in there with some guys that can possibly get him out of there if they hurt him. But we're going to see it and we're going to find out. And I'm looking forward to it, man. But I'm not going to go on for too long, man. That's all I got from now. And y'all could drop something down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think, man. Am I on point or am I out of line, man? What do y'all see? But just hit me up. Let me know what y'all think, man. I appreciate y'all. And we're going to get out the way, man. Y'all take it light.